The laptop that I've been waiting 3 years for Apple to make. The brand new MacBook Pro 14. What comes in the box and is it any good? Let's find out. What's up, everyone? I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. So I'm beyond excited about this. Like I said, this is a computer that I've wanted for the past 3 years, and to see that we finally got a small-bodied MacBook that has all of the power of the big boys. Quick note, nobody provided this to me. I purchased this myself. I literally just got done driving 2 hours to and from an Apple store that had these in stock, so I could pick it up and start talking to you. Let's crack it open. All right, we have the MacBook Pro. Now, this is the cheapest version of the 1999 model with 16 gigabytes of unified memory, the 8-core M1 Pro processor, and a 512 gigabyte solid-state drive. And I do think that this is going to be like the best of the bunch. I don't need all of the power from the bigger boys, but this is going to be more powerful than my current MacBook Air, my current Mac Mini, and let's get to it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Still, I mean, I guess that was a little more satisfying because there was a little give to the plastic, but Apple, like right along here, you got to add some texture. We need the rip. Like that's what makes the unboxing so much fun, right? Like, we're kids. This is like being able to open a brand new toy for adults. So, kind of hoping. All right, here we go. Ready? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay. What is that? Oh, is there a little? Feels like there. Okay. Feels like there's a little divot there. We'll check out. Let's see what else we got. We'll get to you in just a second. All right, we do get the latest MagSafe charger. So instead of previous versions where you just get a USB-C to USB-C cable, we're getting the Apple MagSafe 3 charger. And that cable feels very good. I do like the thing that Apple's been doing since the M1 iMac where you get really high quality braided cables. That's a really, really nice cable. Okay, in here, what else do we get? It feels like there's a lot of stuff in here this year. Or it just feels that way because it's an empty, well, that's kind of disappointing. I was like, oh, wow, we get so much stuff in here. But it's just a spacer. It's just an empty spacer. That's kind of disappointing. So we get the MacBook Pro, tells us how to turn all the stuff on, shows us all the ports. That's great, that's great, that's great. Okay, and then we get this is the instructions on how to go and then check out the instructions. So thankfully they have provided us a sheet to show us where the instruction manual is instead of just giving us the instruction manual, I guess. Ooh! Wow, I did not know the stickers were going to look so good this year. This is like a matte black sticker. I like that so much more than the normal silver ones. That looks fantastic. I'm probably actually going to put those someplace. And then we get the charging brick. Now, with this version, with the cheapest version, we just get what? We get the lower end charging brick, the 67 watt power adapter, where there is a higher end power adapter that you can get with the 14, and then there's the big beefy boy that comes with the 16. Okay, so that's everything that comes in the box. I am kind of disappointed that we don't get a straight USB-C to USB-C cable. We only get the MagSafe, so if you are planning on charging via the Thunderbolt 3 port, you are going to have to source that yourself. Kind of wish they'd given us an additional cable in that, but I mean, it's Apple. They do not generally give you too many additional cables. All right, here we go. It's a little beefier than, you know, a previous year's model, but that looks, even the bottom, I like that. It's like, hear that? We got the little rubber feet here. Looks good. Oh, what I'm most excited about, we've got the ports. The MagSafe 3, 2 Thunderbolt headphone jack. Come over to the side here, SD card slot and HDMI. Oh, that HDMI, I am so excited about. And that was... Okay, I thought there was something strange about that. They had like a little bit of an additional plastic case to cover this, but when you have it on the MacBook, it looks like there's a big circle on the MacBook itself. Now, this is a more angular design, kind of like how we see out of the iPhone 12s and up. That looks gorgeous. All right, let's see what really matters. What's under the hood? Can we do this one-handed? Oh, we can do it one-handed. Did you hear that? That sounded incredible. The speakers... Oh, sounds good. Look at that body. That is gorgeous. The speakers do not feel like as raised as they do last year. You almost can't feel that they're there. That's pretty darn neat. I love... Oh, look at that screen. That is beautiful. Holy crap. Yes, you can immediately see the notch right off the bat, and that's going to be a personal preference, whether you like that or not. But dang, The screen's so, it's almost shockingly vibrant. I've been using the M1 MacBook Pro 13 and the MacBook Air for so long, and they have okay screens. It's totally different when you see this. Jeez. The keyboard, those keys look so good. I really like the black finish. It used to be all aluminum down here, so this aluminum would bleed in over to here. We're missing the touch bar. I do not miss that. I think this looks fantastic, but that's, I'm almost kind of taken back by just how good that screen looks. And you can really, you're not going to be able to see this in the video, and I apologize for that. But you can already tell by moving the mouse around that this is a much faster refresh screen. Let's set this thing up. Let's see how setup is. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed by that. All right, let's find United States. Sometimes, and this is kind of weird, I think we said this in the iPad video and the iPhone video, it's just kind of weird that sometimes the laptop will already say like your region or the country that you're in, and sometimes it doesn't. I wonder if you know why there's a difference. Let me know in the comments below. I'm kind of curious why sometimes it does it and sometimes it doesn't. Accessibility, Apple, you continue to get big thumbs up from me, putting the accessibility up front. Like we mentioned in the iPad mini video, you know, with that jelly issue, some folks have different needs, have different responses to stimuli, whether it be, you know, vision, motor, hearing, cognitive. I love that Apple puts this up front so that everybody gets a chance to set up their tech for them. They don't have to go digging for it later. I love that. Okay, let's set up on our home network. Ooh, the keys feel really good too. We'll have to, I'll bring you up in a little bit when I'm not trying to keep my home Wi-Fi network from you. We'll check those out again in just a second. We will not be transferring anything right now, but we will sign in with our Apple ID. If I can remember it, it's always, I think we did the iPhone so much that I think I remember. Did I get it first try? Got it first try. And I also have my phone here. So I can authenticate this, and we can start using it. Today I will let myself use my computer. I'm, okay, loading. Man, this screen looks so good. No, Apple is not the first company to have a fast refresh rate on their laptops. I think the first one that I ever saw was one of my, I've got the Razer blades, and I'm pointing to my Stack O laptops. One of my Razer blades had a 120 hertz refresh rate, and once you see it, like it's kind of hard to undo it. Ted, new password. Team, these keys feel incredible. While this is setting, can you hear this? Well, you're also hearing me, the error there, but man, they feel really good. And I'm already just, obviously I'm gushing a little bit. You want something from a company, like you beg a company for so long to make something, and then they finally make it, and you're like, I don't even know what to do with my life right now. It's just, I'm gushing a little bit because I'm very, very excited about this. Okay, so we're setting up our iCloud account. All of the keys, man, they feel phenomenal. The build quality is just one of the things I want to check out before we close up shop today. Is I do want to check out the video quality on the camera, because that's the big thing, right? The reason we have this notch here is not just because Apple decided, hey, let's, you know, take away the bezels everywhere except there just to make people complain. There's a whole like system housed in this little brick here, and one of the parts of that is a much larger sensored camera. Cameras are a little bit different than just, oh, hey, the one camera is the same thing in every single piece of tech ever. They did put a physically larger sensor in here, which is why they said they needed this little space here. So I'm excited to see, is that camera actually any good? Was this camera worth the gnawing and gnashing that I've seen on the internet over the past week? Let's find out. Touch ID, yeah, we will set this up. This Touch ID sensor also feels a little more substantial than previous models. Hopefully it will also authenticate and move faster than previous models as well. My fingerprint can now be used to unlock my Mac. We will choose light mode because that is what I absolutely prefer. You know, I just like making folks upset. I'm kidding, I just prefer light mode. There we go, we are on the new Mac OS, the new MacBook Pro, and the new just everything. I'm so excited. Here's something that I'm curious about. How is the notch going to interact? So is it going to stop it? Okay, so the notch, okay, you can see, well, I don't know if you can see or not, but it looks like the notch won't stop your mouse cursor, so it's like the notch isn't there. You can see it's still moving, so you're not going to get, like, hung up on there. Okay, let's check out the camera real quick. New movie recording. It's not as wide of an angle as I think I would have preferred. Here, we'll start recording. Okay, so now we are on the camera from the MacBook. Like I said, I kind of wished it would be a little wider. One of the things that I really like about the iPad Gen 9 and the iPad mini is how wide of a field of view it is. This is totally usable for a meeting or something like that. But I just kind of wish it was a little wider, because to get this angle, which is something that I would normally use for meeting, I've got to like, now I can touch the keyboard, but I'm not all that close. Hopefully though, the image quality looks pretty good. This is now in 1080p as opposed to 720p on previous computers. The audio you've been hearing is the audio recorded directly into the Mac. We are not using my microphone right now, so hopefully it sounds and looks pretty good. One of the things though, we'll have to do a follow-up test in subsequent videos where we use this in different spots than just here in the studio. The studio lights are really tough on small censored cameras like iPhones and iPads and MacBooks, so if this is looking a little wonky, it's because we've got all of this stuff set up here. Okay, so that is the camera. I'm very excited to see how that looks. I don't know. You actually know before I do. I haven't had a chance to check this out yet. Yeah, everything else just feels really, really good. The viewing angles are not as good as I think from like an iPad. Like iPads you can see from pretty much wherever. Here you can see that looks good. But as soon as you start turning, it is getting a little darker. Now, that could be good or bad. Some folks like having a very limited viewing angle if you are working on sensitive stuff all the time. So, like, yeah. All right, I think it looks pretty good on a display. We will plug it into a display later. Initial impressions are, I'm very impressed with the build quality. I absolutely love how this computer looks. I am so excited to start using it. It looks like exactly what I've always wanted out of a small MacBook Pro. I've been using them for years. I've always wanted a little more oomph, and it looks like we finally got that oomph and the ports. We cannot forget about the ports. But what about you? What are some things that you are excited to see out of the brand new M1 Pro MacBook Pro 14? Let me know in the comments below. We're going to make a whole bunch of series of videos on this. Hopefully I will be able to get to everybody's questions, comments, the things that you want to see, because I do try to get to what everybody wants to see out of this. It's like this is a whole group. I mean, yes, I own this, but it's, you know, I bought it for all of us, right? And if you like this video and you would like to see a little bit more in the MacBook Pro 14 and my rationale on why I think this is going to be the best version of all of the current MacBooks, you can find my video where I talk about why I purchased this by clicking right here. Click, 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 click. Thanks for watching.